Hi, I'm Sheila. Today we're here at Arbor Valley Nursery and we will be discussing the basics of planting in a dry mountain climate. Here in Colorado, it can be challenging to maintain a landscape due to our arid conditions and extreme temperature fluctuations. Today we'll be discussing how you can make your landscape thrive here in Colorado, as well as some plants that may perform well here. Here are some basics to keep in mind when planting your landscape in Colorado. Be sure to prepare your soil by incorporating organic matter, such as compost, to improve the soil's ability to hold water as well as nutrients. Amending the soil helps with moisture retention and provides a better environment for root growth. Efficient watering is extremely important here in a dry mountain climate. Water your plants deeply but infrequently to encourage root growth and drought tolerance. It's critical to always monitor your moisture in the winter, applying any additional irrigation as needed if snow cover isn't present. Be sure to always apply a layer of organic mulch around your plants to conserve moisture, regulate the temperature of the soil, and suppress growth of weeds. Mulching can also improve soil structure over time as the organic mulch breaks down and turns into organic matter. It's important to understand any microclimates within your garden. Different areas in your yard may receive varying levels of sun exposure, wind, or shade. Place your plants accordingly, considering the needs of each individual plant. Cold protection is also very important here in Colorado. Protect your plants from our temperature extremes by selecting varieties that are hardy enough to survive our winter. You can also provide additional winter protection by using mulch, burlap wraps, or windbreaks. Be aware of the potential for sudden fluctuations in temperature, especially in the winter months. Now we will give some examples of plants that thrive in our dry mountain climate here in Colorado and how to care for them. Rocky Mountain juniper is a native evergreen tree very well suited to Colorado's dry climate. It's drought tolerant, requires minimal irrigation, and offers interest throughout the year. Plant Rocky Mountain juniper in well-drained soil and provide full sun. Water regularly throughout the first year, after which you can rely on natural rainfall. Apache Plume, or Fallujah paradoxa, is a low-growing shrub with delicate white flowers and feathery fruits. It flowers and fruits at the same time, it's drought tolerant, and prefers well-drained soil. Prune Apache Plume lightly after it flowers to maintain its shape. Blue avena grass, or Heliotrichon sempervirens, is an ornamental grass with blue-gray foliage. This is a drought-tolerant, low-maintenance plant, and it prefers well-drained soil and full sun. Silverleaf four-winged saltbush, or Atriplex canescens, is a native shrub that is adapted to our arid conditions. This plant has silvery foliage, it's highly drought tolerant, and it does very well in well-drained soil and full sun. This plant requires little maintenance once it's established. Several varieties of Penstemon are native to Colorado and are very well suited to our dry mountain climate. These plants offer vibrant colors, including pink and purple, and are relatively drought tolerant once they become established. Plant Penstemon in well-drained soil and provide full sun to partial shade. Gambel oak, or Quercus gambelii, is a small to medium-sized deciduous tree or shrub with glossy green leaves. Plant the Gambel oak in well-drained soil and make sure to provide adequate space for growth. Water regularly throughout the first season, and then after which you can rely on natural rainfall. Utah serviceberry, or Amelanchier utahensis, is a shrub or small tree which has white flowers as well as edible berries. This plant prefers well-drained and slightly acidic soil. Water deeply and regularly throughout the growing season, but reduce your water when the plant is dormant in the winter. Yucca is an extremely tough succulent with spiky leaves and tall flower spikes, typically in white. Plant in well-drained soil in full sun. Water yucca sparingly, allowing the soil to completely dry out in between irrigation. Winecups, or calero, is a perennial ground cover producing cup-shaped magenta or purple flowers. Plant this perennial in well-drained soil in full sun. Water moderately throughout the season, allowing the soil to partially dry out in between waterings. When caring for plants in a dry mountain climate such as Colorado, it's very important to water adequately during establishment. After the first season, you can gradually reduce your watering to encourage deep root growth and drought tolerance. Regularly monitor soil moisture levels and adjust your water as needed. Make sure not to overwater, as this can lead to root rot. Regularly inspect your plants for any pests and diseases and promptly address any issues. Pruning and removing dead flowers can also help maintain plant shape and health. It can be beneficial to apply a slow release low nitrogen fertilizer during the growing season, typically in the spring, to provide necessary nutrients throughout the year. Be sure to select plants that are specifically adapted to our dry climate in Colorado, and make sure to follow their individual care requirements. By selecting resilient and drought-tolerant plants, you can create a thriving garden here in Colorado.